Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Live Show, episode 390. It is a Monday night, and you know what that means. That's the second show of the day, and we're here to discuss the Penguin episode 4. As always, this is the Nerd Chicani here to host the show, along with my wonderful co-host, Brad Young Yoda.
What's up, everybody? Wonderful, wonderful Monday night.
And the feeling is right. So here's what happened. Today we were live. Today we were live to do our episode of Agatha All Along, which was a pretty damn good review. Up in the morning, I had just brushed my teeth. I didn't even take a shower or anything. Did not brush my hair. Had a hat on, so that's why I'm not wearing a hat right now, because I actually have okay hair. I actually made an appointment today, Brad.
Oh yeah, get a haircut.
Getting a haircut on Wednesday. So yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired of this hair, Brad. I'm tired of this fucking hair. So Wednesday I'm getting that done. And yeah. But today we're live for Penguin episode review. And tomorrow morning on patreon.com/nerdcore at the $1 tier, you're gonna get the live ad free and early of Under the Skin as we continue horror month. That'll go up on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. But before we can get into the review, Brad, anything to report on today that you got up to after we reviewed?
No. I spent time with my family that's in town, and then came home.
Where'd you guys go?
Went to a tourist trap that's near me.
A what?
A tourist trap.
What the fuck is that?
That is where
you get trapped for being a tourist?
Well, it's where like tourists usually go because it's a very well-known location.
Oh, you're trying to not say what the location is?
Yes,
or what?
That's what I'm doing. I put it in private chat for you, so don't read it aloud.
Yeah.
So yes, we went to a tourist trap. Yeah, you get that.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah. Only select few will be able to understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell them I want the Wade Wilson haircut, mind the staple. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, no. Yeah. We're just gonna get a fade like we always do.
Stacy in the chat.
Yes, sir. But yeah, I watched this. I watched Terrifier 2. Went after I finished Terrifier 2. Well, actually, I ate some of the ceviche that was left over from last night, and I gave some ceviche to my friend who came to pick it up while he was on lunch break. And then I finished watching Terrifier 2, and then I took the dogs out, went to go watch Terrifier 3, and came back, watched Penguin. Brad had to eat, and now we're on.
Yeah,
I have not streamed today. I don't think I'm streaming today. I think I'm just gonna do it tomorrow.
A little bit late, huh?
Yeah.
I came home. So I went to bed last night at like 12:30.
Yeah.
Because we're making wine right now out of prickly pears, and so we had to. I was visiting family that went late, and we had to get that all prepared before the prickly pear course went bad. It was 20 pounds of prickly pear, so
yeah.
it wasn't a small amount. And then I woke up at 5
to do this, to
watch the Penguin, and then also watch Under My Skin.
Under Dust Skin, Brad.
Under Dust Skin, sorry.
Yeah. Come on, get it right, bro.
We've been watching a lot of Skin movies, okay?
Yeah. Which is not anywhere, what's it called, being a coincidence. I literally just picked movies. But yeah. But yeah, and then Brad had to hear the bad news that I had not watched any of these.
Yeah, so he was like, Penguin, or I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Odds on under 5 or over 10 kids in Terrifier 3. A lot of kids.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
Kids are different nowadays.
Yeah.
They're like feral children.
There's a lot. Look, part of me knew what kind of screening I was going into.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wasn't surprised that there was a bunch of fucking teenagers just being stupid.
Yeah.
Talking to in the film. But, I expect it from teenagers, not fucking, grown-ass people who
Oh, I expect.
No, or over my age,
But
just fucking talking like idiots too.
you remember my Deadpool 2
Yeah, bro.
story?
Yeah. It's
Is that
just,
your angel? It's like
I just
Jesus.
fucking just people just I really fucking hate people, man. And then they
No.
wonder why people don't want to go to the movies and to the theaters anymore.
Yeah.
You know, look. It's yeah, of course it is kind of rough to it is kind of what's it called rough nowadays with how expensive it is. But also it doesn't fucking help that when you go there, you spend all this money and you can't even have a decent fucking experience because people either talk all the time, they're on their phones, or apparently now, Brad, what's happening is that you have people who want to be influencers and are taking pictures and stuff during the film and using flash photography. It's like it's just
Yo,
the theater is
selfie.
going to die because mostly people don't know how
I
to fucking act.
I will say though, my best experiences have been in the dine-in theater that I like.
Yeah.
That's an hour and 30 minutes away from me because I think it's a little more expensive, and I think the people there they go to see that movie. They've chosen to go see that movie, and they order food.
You know, Brad, I would agree with you, Brad, but I went to a private, not private, but it was open only to people who were exclusive to a membership for helping to restore this theater and stuff at a dine-in theater where I spent the whole fucking movie next to these two middle-aged women who didn't know how to shut the fuck up the whole fucking movie.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
which was an invite-only event. I'll tell you.
Maybe that was the problem. You were getting way too many influencers for invite only.
It's absolutely fucking egregious, Brad. How some people just don't know how to shut the fuck up. Like, I don't know where it is.
Like
Just
people don't like
oh,
we've had the same rules in theaters for like centuries now.
yeah,
Century.
yeah. Cinema has existed since basically like I want to say since like the late 1800s.
Silent movies just didn't mean the movie.
Yeah. And multiplexes, started becoming a thing in the 1900s.
Yeah.
We've had enough time to understand the rules.
Yeah. Well, and they literally they had Deadpool literally telling people to shut the fuck up. Well, I guess Wolverine told people to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Oh well, but that was my experience,
It is what it is.
It really is what it is, man.
But in better news, I just want to shout out everybody watching on YouTube. We've been getting a lot of views lately.
Oh yeah, y'all loving the Penguin reviews, man.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all loved the Lord of the Rings reviews. Y'all shout out for y'all for that. But yeah, well, they probably had huge bright phones going off in those theaters too. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
The cameras,
manners in public, getting COVID, take care of that. And I don't want to be one of those who's like, oh, I blame COVID, but I think I blame COVID a little bit because people got used to watching films at home.
Yeah.
And they thought, oh, I can act like this in the theater too. And it's like, no, I can't. But enough of my bitching. Brad, if they have not watched last week's episode of The Penguin, you should probably get out of here. We care about spoilers. But if you don't care about spoilers or you've already seen the episode, go ahead and stay. This is your one and only spoiler warning, and it is in effect after these words from our sponsors in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Today's episode of the Nerdcore Live Show is brought to you by SeatGeek. Whether you want to see your favorite band, sports team, or comedian, SeatGeek has you covered. We're proud to be partnering with SeatGeek to offer you $10 off with code TheNerdCore. That's $10 off your first order at SeatGeek.com with code THENERDCORPS. So take a seat at your next live event with SeatGeek. Thank you. Now let's get back to today's video. All right, man. Episode 4, titled Cent'anni. Confronting the events that turned her into the Hangman and led to a decade-long fight for survival in Arkham, Sophia makes plans for a more hopeful future. Directed by Helen Shaver and based on the characters created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Developed by Lauren Lefranc and written by John McCutcheon. Starring Colin Farrell, Christine Milioti, Renzi Feliz, Michael Zagan, Scott Cohn, Shakre Agdajlu, Theo Rosi, yep. James Badillo, Nadine Malouf, Alexa Palladino, Marie Botha, and Tess Soital. Brad, I have to tell you, man. I look. I love the name Alexa. That the way they spell that name. I don't
Let's
know.
spell it.
Aleksa. I don't know why I love that.
Interesting.
I love the way that name is spelled. Just a little
It's different.
interjection there.
It's different, but it's not bad.
No,
It's
no.
not like one of those weird ones that you
Yeah.
get and you're like, well, how'd you fucking come up with that?
Yeah. If it happens that one day I end up having two children and both of them are girls, of course the first one will be named Martha for my mom, but the second one I
Martha.
wouldn't mind naming what's it
Sorry.
called? Alexa. Alexa. Yeah.
How do you know that name? Sorry.
Shut the fuck up. Cent'anni is an Italian phrase which translates to 100 years. As seen in the episode, is often used as a toast. It can also be heard in the Godfather films. Magpie, Margaret Pye, is a minor DC villain who served as an enemy of both Batman and Superman in the comics. First introduced in 1986, The Man of Steel #3, the character has been an adversary to Superman and Batman over the years.
Yeah, well, apparently not in this version.
Yeah. In Batman the Long Halloween, Carla Vitti was murdered by the Holiday Killer. Here she is gassed to death by Sophia. All right. And this is the first in-depth look at Arkham Asylum in the Batman's universe, otherwise known as the Reeves-verse.
Oh, that's true.
Reeves-verse.
That's true. You only get the doors.
Yeah, that's right. We only do get the doors.
We only get the doors with the Riddler behind it. Oh, well, we did get the Batman scene with the Riddler, the glass.
Yeah. Man, okay. Brad.
Yo. Fucking
this
good,
is,
right? Fucking
this
good.
is my fucking favorite episode of the season. This is my first perfect score. This was an incredibly powerful, painful, but so important episode to where we are going in this series. And I think that we really needed a Sophia-centric episode where we really got to dive into her fight for survival in Arkham and understanding how she got in there. Because all this time it was like, oh, Oz got me in there. Oz got me in there. And we weren't really understanding, like, what the fuck happened? Like, why did she get sent in there?
Like, why is she so mad at Oz?
And what we find out is even worse than what I would have imagined. But Brad, what are your initial thoughts on this episode of The Penguin?
I gotta agree. I think this is the best of the season, because most of the time it's been focused on the Oz-Victor relationship for the past 3 episodes, with Sophia being there as the smart, I guess, would you call antagonist to Oz, the smart antagonist, who's the other side, who's going to be Oz's, I guess, enemy, and we kind of saw that, like, inklings of that, being like, Sophia ain't believing in any shit Oz is saying. For whatever reason, for good reason, I guess. And this, we get a Sophia that we see who is ultimately very dangerous and very calculating. And honestly, her revenge, that it is totally justified. It's totally justified.
We have turned ourselves into Sophia stands here. We are.
When Sophia puts the yellow dress on, I don't know what to tell you.
Yep. I just, you start this off. You're there. First of all, you started off with seeing that what they were up to when they were being interrogated by the Persian lady. I can't remember her name, but and she gets what's it called? Her Oz gets picked up by Victor, and she's just there. She's like kind of like
she's left, and she calls her psychiatrist, Julian.
Psychiatrist. Yep. And we go into this to the flashback, and we see Sophia when she was younger, and which, by the way,
And by the way, I was watching some stuff, and they say she's about 27 at that time when she's younger.
So she's like 30 something right now.
She's 37 to 40, and
yeah. So and it looks like a completely different Sophia. It looks like a completely different Sophia.
Yeah, a very young, innocent Sophia.
Yeah, who's kind of like she has a great relationship with Alberto. Um, and she has gone through this like massive loss in her family with her mother committing suicide.
Hmm.
But she has like this feeling of like she doesn't understand how that went down. And
Well, I don't know if she has that feeling until that reporter comes around.
yeah, and the reporter is what really kind of throws a wrench into all of it. And we
But
kind of
but
get
before we get in the Carmine actor, because
oh
we
Mark
know,
Strong.
yeah, we know it's not the same as in the movies.
No, not Torturo.
But
But
what did you think? I thought it was decent.
I think Mark Strong did a great job.
Yeah, I thought it was very decent.
Now, is it the same Carmine that I feel is in the Batman film? Not at all.
No, but
Feels like a very different
it's a
Carmine.
younger Carmine too, so you can kind
Yeah.
of get away with it.
But Mark Strong still has a very commanding presence, and I really felt like he was kind of getting into that spirit and that you know ethos of who Carmine is.
Hmm.
And yeah, I liked him, and in that scene with her and him just talking, I was scared, bro. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah,
like
well, you could see Carmine.
he's either gonna like
I thought he was gonna strangle her right there.
me too. I thought like he might just kill his own daughter,
Yeah,
but she kind of gets to the conclusion that her father might have killed her mom.
yeah, because as we know, the reporter comes to her at first at an event for that's named after her mother to help with depression. I guess women with
Yeah,
depression. Um, and basically, she tells the reporter to get lost, that she's not going to talk because that's what she's been told by her father to do. Don't talk to the press. Oz tells her, as Oz is the driver at this time, tells her to also get lost, the reporter. And then there's a second meeting with
yeah,
the reporter because Sophia's curiosity starts, happening, unfortunately. And she goes out, she meets Oz is not there to hear the conversation. He's in the car. So
no,
all Oz can see is that she's having a second meeting with a reporter, and that's a no-no. But basically, what the reporter shows her is, look, the strangulation doesn't fit with a rope. It looks like hands. That's basically what it gets down to. And then they have defensive wounds on their hands, like they were scratching at the guy.
yeah,
And then that sparks something in her memory of her mom when her mom was hanging there, of the defensive wounds on her mom's hands and the blood under the fingernails of her mom. And so she kind of puts two and two together and realizes her dad may have done this. May have done
yeah,
this to mother and done this to 8, 9 women.
yeah,
But again, she doesn't spill on her father. She basically
no,
tells the reporter to get lost and she'll sue her for everything she is. Um, and then that's where we enter Carmine. Is it Carmine's birthday? Carmine's birthday.
yeah, Carmine's birthday. Yeah, and I mean the turn where he basically fabricates a lie about his own daughter, sends her to Arkham Asylum, where the same thing that we got done talking about it like last month with the night of, where they send someone innocent and they create the person,
The monster.
they create a monster.
Yeah.
And
And I want to go back before this though, because when she's taken into custody, like the police pick her up on orders of Carmine, basically.
yeah,
And Oz is there, and I genuinely think Oz didn't think Carmine would throw his own daughter
me
into
neither.
Arkham.
Me
I
neither.
think that's a genuine reaction from Oz of
Yeah.
like, where are you taking her?
Yeah, I think genuinely Oz didn't know that that's the lengths
That
that
Carmine would
Carmine
go.
was willing to go.
Yeah.
And I really like this episode because you see that Berto is like he genuinely loves his sister.
Yeah, and he generally wants to help her. unfortunately, it's Carmine Falcone who's his father.
Yeah, because like all we've seen, like let's just call it spade a spade. We've seen Berto as just a fuck up in that first episode,
Yeah,
just
I
drunk
mean,
off his ass.
yeah, he's a druggy drunk. But in this, he seems way more lucid. He seems like he's getting into shit. It looks like
Yeah,
he has that family dinner and he's on his phone. He's like, I gotta fucking go, and he's like, yeah, I'll get you the bank info or whatever
yeah,
that you asked for, Dad. Yada yada. I mean, he's a spoiled brat at the same time. So, but I don't think he's like a
yeah,
user or a big drops user at this point or alcoholic at this point.
yeah. But I mean, at least it really sees in that relationship that it's true that like that Alberto and Sophia had a great relationship with each other, and Berto really loves his sister, and he was willing to do what he could to help out his sister. I mean, it broke his heart going over there to tell her like, "Hey, I
You're
can't
not
get you
getting
out."
out. Well, and not only that, that the 6 months that he originally thought she was going to be in there for them until
Turned into a
trial
fucking decade.
turned into 10 years. And it did, and she wasn't released until the flood, basically.
Yeah, and just everything that happens inside of Arkham Asylum, I think it's an incredible like writing and filmmaking, like
I
everything
mean,
just worked in there,
were
man.
you expecting electroshock therapy? I was not expecting
No, I was
electroshock
not.
therapy.
But I love that in the interview they kind of said like we kind of had to make the scenes feel repetitive to really kind of make it look like make it feel like this is what she's going through, and it feels like everything is blending in, which kind of adds up to that madness is brewing inside of Sophia.
Yeah, I mean, her prison cell literally becomes the room where her mom hung herself,
Yeah,
which I thought that was just overall great cinematography there, where she's peeling away the steel walls and it's turning into her mom's and her dad's bedroom,
yeah,
where of course her mom hung herself,
yeah. But man,
or I guess Carmine hung her mom.
hung his mom. Yeah, hung her mom, and God, but I mean, just an incredible episode, Brad. I mean, just all that pain and all everything that they've done
Oh,
to Sophia.
I mean, how they basically put in reason, like they knew she was sane. Like
Yeah,
there's no. I mean, the main doctor knew. I don't know if Julian Rush knew. I think he
yeah,
knew after a while, like what they were doing was wrong, and that's why he left. And they had that whole conversation there. But I think just the whole going through Arkham, I mean, that's really what broke her. I
yeah.
mean, she literally
Would break me.
watched a woman stab herself, and then she thought, yeah, she broke and then killed Magpie for
Yeah,
thinking that she was a snitch.
yeah, and she was, and then getting hurt by all those other inmates, and it's. I mean, it changed the fabric of her being, of who she is, and it creates the monster that we see at the end. Who and she even like I love that. I love the dialogue inside of the psychiatrist's home, where she's like, "You literally looked at me like a sick child."
Yeah.
And like I think part of him also kind of looked at her like someone that he was interested in, and this whole episode is really about these people that have taken advantage of Sophia.
Yeah.
And that's who creates that monster in there. It's everybody who's manipulated her, who's taken advantage of her.
And that's
And
literally 90% of the episode. Is we
yeah,
see these people taking advantage of her and breaking what was an innocent woman into what she is now.
yeah. And it's what caused those trust issues, and it's why like literally the only person she could have trusted was Berto, and that's why she's in the position she's in now, because that's the only guy the only person she could trust, and he's gone.
Well, and she sees it in her own family. She can
Oh
trust
yeah,
none of them.
which what a scene.
Whew.
What a scene! Which just goes in there.
Has this ever made you want to go check your smoke alarms and carbon monoxide
Yeah,
alarm?
but just like her first, she goes in there, presents the version that they all want to see, the one that they keep hearing the rumors about. She like starts chewing her food and gets like all crazy with the
Yeah,
little
eating
girl, and
food.
it's like
Yeah.
But then
What
flips it.
while actually while her uncle is giving this speech,
Yeah,
because he is now head of the family, he's thanking them, and he likes he's thankful for their support and yada yada. And she's literally just making faces at this little girl at this table, not taking him seriously. And
yeah,
then not only that, interrupts his fucking speech.
yeah. And just what's it called? Just absolutely digs in to the whole family and tells them like, "Hey, none of you fucks tried. Alberto was the only one who even tried a bit to help me to get me out of there.
Yeah, and he's dead now.
No one in that table helped him out, helped her
No,
out.
no, they literally wrote statements that put her in longer.
Mm-hmm. And my God, I thought I don't know
What
why,
did you think of though her taking her sparing her little cousin?
because it's just not.
Yeah, she's
I don't
innocent.
think that's not in Sophia to do that. She's innocent.
No, that's another innocent, and she even told her like, I don't want this family to do to you what they did to me.
What they did to me. Yeah,
But isn't she kind of doing that when she just killed her mother and like everyone she's known?
yeah, pretty much.
I don't think there's any innocence in the Falcone family
No, there's
at the end
not.
of the day.
Yeah. Um, and I thought for a second she was gonna probably kill her in that greenhouse, but no, thankfully that wasn't the case.
No.
Um, but she gasses them all. She gasses them all while looking absolutely fucking fantastic in that dress. Oh my
Woo.
God.
I'm starting to think like when Sophia's wearing black, you're okay, but when she puts on some color dress,
You're done.
yeah, you're done.
She kills everybody, but she leaves Vidi.
She needs Vidi
Mm-hmm.
to fucking strengthen her link to being head of the family. So
Yep.
she knew she needed Vidi. That's the
Yeah.
only reason he's still alive.
Exactly. And just ends with that fucking like put your pants, Johnny, put your pants on.
So there's 8 episodes in this season, right? This is the halfway point, I
Yeah.
think. I think it just gasses up from here because you got a penguin. Oz is going to be fighting for his very existence, and he's stuck between the Maronis and now
Sophia.
and the
Yeah.
Falcones.
We're family. I got all my well, maybe not.
And I think ultimately what it comes down to is I think we stop getting this penguin that we can see is this yeah, he's got some good parts to him, and he's treating Vic well and all that, and I think we get penguin.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
this is
we
where
get
it
the
breaks.
murderous fucking, he's going to do whatever he wants to survive because he's a survivor, and his mom
Yeah,
didn't
this
raise
is
no
where that
pussy as she said.
this is that switch from Tony Montana to Scarface.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Hello
that's
to my little friend brings Vic
yep.
out.
Yep. But God, what an episode, Brad. Great writing,
This
cinematography wise, amazing.
I think it just hypes up from here. I think
Yeah,
because Sophia's going to be gunning.
and I think this solidifies Christine Melody for that nomination and possibly a win, bro. I think this just solidified an Emmy for Christine Melody.
I don't know if
Just
she could have done any better in this episode. She was
yeah,
damn near
perfect.
perfect.
Damn, you're perfect, man. What an incredible episode. I loved it. There was just nothing that I felt
Oh,
was whatsoever.
yeah, we mentioned it. The whole family's dead from carbon monoxide poisoning other than Vidi, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Including
Vita's the only
Luca.
one that's left.
Yeah, Luca's dead. Like everyone in that house.
Yep.
Oz's boss, he's dead.
Mm-hmm. Also, I love that flashback really did show that like Oz really was just Carmine's bitch.
He kind of was. Well,
Yeah, the way
and
that
then
like
everyone was calling him Penguin, but it was Sophia. I mean, Sophia basically told Penguin, and just I think out of just a fit of anger, I don't know if she actually meant it. It's like nobody listens to you anyway. You're nothing.
he's just my fucking driver.
Yeah, you're just my fucking driver. Drive, and I think he took that personally.
I think that's that he took that person. That's why he said that shit.
Yeah.
to Carmine.
Yeah, I don't think he would have said that shit otherwise. But I think he took that personally of you're my driver and just my driver and no one really cares what you have to
Yeah.
say.
And I think that and I think that really just shows like how what's it called, Oz just changes.
Yeah.
Because like even in the Batman film, like yeah, he doesn't really feel like that version of Oz in the beginning with Carmine. And it's just like it really does. This flashback really did prove that like before all this, Oz really was just Carmine's bitch.
Yeah. And again, I think it came down to Oz is there to survive. And I think that's what he was doing. He was surviving. And now I think he has no guardrails anymore. There's
Nope.
nothing he can say that get him into the good graces and keep him safe with the Maronis or the Falcones.
Yeah.
He might have something with the triads since that relationship's now open, but I don't know. I think Penguin just gonna go off. I think he has to.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Brad. I mean, I already said at the beginning of the episode, my verdict is a 10 out of 10. This is the best episode so far. It's my first perfect score. I am loving this series so far, and God, I'd move mountains for that woman.
Especially in that
I'd
dress.
I'd move mountains for that woman. I'd bring the sun, the moon, and all the stars in the sky, bro. I'd conquer countries. I'd do whatever she needs. I
I
no
just
longer care to fix Sofia Falcone. I'm just gonna just let that
I
woman do what she
just
needs to do.
it's amazing to see the change in this character from the beginning of this episode to the end because you can tell she's had enough and she
Yeah.
changes. She's had enough being stepped on, sent to Arkham, and being pushed around, and she takes over the family.
Yeah. But Brad, what's your final verdict?
I'm gonna go with you, 10 out of 10, and I think this series, I think we're gonna have a few more 10 out of 10s.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. But with that said, that concludes our review of the Penguin episode 4. We'll be back next this weekend or maybe next week for our Penguin episode 5 review. Really excited to see what else we get going with this series because this is it's look, man. So far, it's been great. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, it's
I
been good.
need to look at my numbers, but I'm pretty sure I have not dropped anything below like a 9 or an 8.
Yeah, I mean it's I mean I was liking the Vic Oz buddy comedy kind of going on, but now they gone into like really serious territory with this,
Yup.
and so now I'm wondering how they're gonna finish up this half of the season.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. But Brad, with that said, we thank them all so much. Nerdcore.com is our website. Twitter is the Nerdcore _ Instagram, Letterboxd and TikTok is at the Nerdcore. Patreon.com/the Nerdcore. Discord link is in the description below. You can talk to us about the Penguin and other DC and Reeves verse shows or movies. And of course, leave a comment on the YouTube video. Tell us what you think about the episode, what you think about this review, and yeah, what do you think about Sofia Falcone in that dress, man? Yep.
I thought the first yellow dress was pretty good too.
Yeah, I wasn't complaining either. God, the wardrobe department's gonna get a nomination for all this, bro. Yeah, man. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss another episode that drops on the channel, and also leave a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app of choice. And make sure you follow us on that favorite podcast app of choice. We also want to thank our wonderful Patreon supporters because they make this possible. Without them, we're just not doing this like we are. And we thank them just so much for being the wonderful people that they are. We love you guys so much. Brad, we will be back in their public faces on Wednesday for Under the Skin, and then Saturday for public faces for our episode of Climax, our review of Climax, and then hopefully continue on with Agatha and the Penguin.
Yeah.
Other than that, guys, we just keep on rolling here. We're trying to figure out when to do our next TV show commentaries, but I'm sure we will get that figured out in the coming days. But for now, thank you guys so much for bearing with us with this weird schedule so far. But we figure it out, and it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I mean we eventually get to them.
Yeah. So, Brad, without further ado, let's go ahead and set them out of here.
All right, Raul. Thank you for being the host as always. Thank you to Stacy once again for joining us in chat. Thank you to our listeners out there at Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, Sophia Falcone, number
The
one
woman,
superstar, young Yoda out.
the woman that you are.